We're back to continue our 1841 parallel time dive of episode
Yes,
1204. Go ahead, Patrick.
exactly. Well, before you vanished or I vanished or something like that happened, we were actually still talking about the episode.
Yes.
So what was left? Melanie's banging on the door.
Yeah,
Daddy's dying. Got the will.
yeah. Melanie's been in a lot of things happened toward the end. After Justin's funeral, we know Quentin tells Melanie about what happened. So
Yeah.
and he locks her back in the room. Well, then Julia and Flora get the bright idea. Well, let's finally pay Stella off with this $5,000. They
Right.
go to Stella's room, and Stella's deader than a doornail. And they check Melanie's room, and she's not there. And Melanie's banging on the door to the the secret room, the cursed room, if you will. And
Mm-hmm.
let me in, let me in. And it's terrifying as hell.
It is terrifying. You talk about self-destruction and self-harm being so terrible, and it's evidence of that. Youth culture gone awry, I think, is the subtext there.
It is. And I like the fact that they've built up Stella so well as a sympathetic character. Now she's possessed. And now you're seeing this.
Wait, they left Melanie.
Right, Melanie.
Okay.
Sorry. Melanie, they build up Melanie as a sympathetic character, and they have her possessed, and to see her lose control of herself and be banging on this door, it's like, girl, it's like you feel every ounce of sorrow for her at that moment because she's lost Justin. She feels like, and I gotta believe that Melanie at this point maybe is feeling like she's losing the whole family around her because they're telling her, hey, you're going crazy. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and she is.
Yeah.
Except it's crazy from possession.
Yeah, she.
Um, and she seems relaxed about it, so that makes it casual possession.
So you wanted to talk about how the pre-Barnabas episodes are.
Well, it relates to 1841 Parallel Time. The show begins and ends with something pretty interesting. People often like to defend the pre-Barnabas episodes, as I was saying, by saying that it's the real dark shed, it's a real deep cut. I guess that's the right term. It's a litmus test. It's like if you can deal with just sort of ghosts occasionally and implications and a pen being weird, you're a true blue Dark Shadows fan. I don't know if I really buy that, because Dark Shadows is a phenomenon. It really picked up with most people watching from the Unleashing of Barnabas forward, but whatever. But if you can use that logic, is 1841 Parallel Time far more Dark Shadowsier? And should we not give it the same attention that we now give the Bill Malloy era? I would say yes. I think of how much they accomplish in just 2 months. Basically, it was on the air for about 2 months before they pulled the plug.
Yeah.
Think of how much they accomplished with that. Think of what an interesting autonomous story it is. And I think it deserves attention that way. And I think if you were to compare the two, this is a much more interesting storyline. And it shows a lot of confidence.
It's a look to me as a fan, and you know this. I'll only ever speak for myself here.
Sure.
It's all Dark Shadows, and it's all awesome. And it's really cool to do a deep dive on this because I wanted to do this deep dive to show, hey, there's some good storytelling here.
There really is.
And I really look, my favorites, the thumbnail to this is Melanie leaning over the coffin smiling.
That's a great moment. It's really eerie.
Well, the two thumbnails, because I'm going to have to upload two separate videos. But it's really cool that the fact that they got all these characters, they created a whole new set of characters. I mean, we didn't have Laura Parker playing the Catherine Heritage. We didn't have, a Melanie Collins. It was a Justin Collins. They never said those names before, even though Justin's a short-lived character. And then we get a Morgan Collins who is very loud, very proud, and we hear about this cursed room, and it's like lottery craziness.
It is. It is. So
this is like, it's weird because I've been mentioning wrestling. WCW World Championship Wrestling held something called a lethal lottery, and I really think Dark Shadows lottery was the inspiration for it.
Okay.
And so,
now, what? Did somebody get a unitard that was too tight if they pulled their name? How did that work?
No, they had this. If memory serves me, they had this wheel and they would spin. They would spin it, and basically you picked your opponent, and then you spun the wheel again, and the other balls had the match you would participate in. So therefore, lethal lottery.
Let me ask you this: how do you think China would have been playing Adam?
I don't know.
I'd like to find out.
She passed away, unfortunately. But
it did?
China?
Yeah.
She did, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
well, I don't feel bad, but maybe I do. I don't know. China died. I don't know any other women wrestlers.
How would you feel about like maybe someone like Kane playing Adam?
I would prefer Gene Akerlund, was that his name?
Yeah.
Put him in there.
Gene Akerlund.
Yeah, he's the ultimate being. Andy Kaufman could wrestle him.
Andy Kaufman was a huge impact on wrestling.
What was he really?
Yeah. No.
Through town wrestling with Jerry King Lawler, and I didn't get to see it. The tickets were too expensive.
Well, back in the day of pro wrestling in the South, women's wrestling was everything in the South. And what Andy Kaufman was doing, he was wrestling women and beating them. And
for a while, but then he was wrestling men because he was wrestling sometimes against Jerry King Lawler, but then sometimes he would have a turn and they would be on the same side.
Yeah. Actually, if you go watch some of his Andy Kaufman stand-up, he actually does wrestle women on stage, and they'll like lift him up and drop him.
Absolutely. The intergender wrestling champion of the world, he called himself.
Yes.
He got that away from Conrad Bain.
How it's crazy how wrestling has a lack of entertainment today. And when you go back, how entertaining it really was.
I missed the Junkyard Dog.
Yes. Yes.
It's the only action figure I know of that came with a toilet.
I had a Junkyard Dog, like this tall action figure, and it had the chain around his neck. Really cool. I remember that.
I like that.
So.
All right. Anything else on this one?
No. First of all, I'm going to apologize to Patrick for the cutoff. That was accidental. Apologies around.
Daisy Duke quality. Continue.
So there will be two videos with this one. First, the first one, and then this one. Obviously, there's going to be a link to the Dark Shadows Daybook.
Cliffhanger.
What's that?
It's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
What happens in part 2?
Yeah. So this is part 2 of our video. Link to go get the Dark Shadows Daybook is going to be in the description box. Go pick that up if you haven't. First of all, my friend, thank you so much for coming on and doing this episode with me. I've had a lot of fun, and I think to close it off, really, when you watch Dark Shadows, whether it's from really you could pick up Dark Shadows anywhere. I mean, whether it's 1795, 1897.
The Mobius strip.
Right. I mean, look, I don't think there's any bad Dark Shadows incarnation when you get to the series. I just think everybody's going to have their own preference.
They like some things more than others. Yeah, I'm with you.
That's just what it is. I mean, but hey, man, it's all good here. But it's cool that we're doing that. I'm doing this by episode. We did this so far by episode, and it's my favorite character so far has been David Selby's Quentin.
He's a good one. I think it certainly is the most mature and balanced Quentin we've ever seen.
Who's been your favorite character for 1841?
Melanie.
Really?
Because she's the most unpredictable.
Yeah.
When it's on screen, I know things are going to happen, but I cannot predict what they are.
That's true.
So that's a good measure. I like Melanie.
And really,
piece of storytelling. I mean, not like as a person I want to hang out with.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, and this episode's proof of that too. When they have the coffin in the drawing room and she comes in and she starts laughing. Really, really great episode, guys. Again, link to go get the Dark Shadows Daybook is going to be in the description box. Written by that man, Patrick McCray. Thank you, sir. You are the man. Have a great night, Patrick.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.